Huh? So what if I constantly send you into danger? I haven't really been reading the president's notes for these levels, but they are pretty great. Hello, Verbosa here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Pikmin 3 Side Stories. In the previous episode, I don't want to talk about it. But in today's video, we'll be moving towards land, sea, and sky. Alright, so now we're starting off in this part of the Garden of Hope, which is pretty interesting. Now, this area right here, I gotta say, when I first started playing through this part of the game, honestly I had no idea where to start, because it just seemed like everywhere you can possibly go in this area was just like super slow, and there really wasn't a whole lot to do. But there's actually a lot of stuff you can do right now, even if it doesn't seem like it. So I'm gonna teach you the super handy-dandy tricks of throwing Louie off a bridge. We'll have Louie go over here because you can send him off on his own to do a bit of scouting across this area to see what you can do a little bit later. And more importantly, you can go over here and find the blue onion just a little bit early. Now, I'm not quite sure if this was intentional or not, but it is definitely something that is very, very well appreciated, because I would have been bored out of my mind if I was stuck there for a good chunk of the beginning of the stage. So I take care of that. We're going to go over here. The blue Pikmin should be finished with their jobs over here. These are not blue Pikmin, these are red Pikmin. I know my colors, at least I hope I do. So we'll be going back over this way. You should be done with that for now. Looks like Louie's plucking those Pikmin corpses, the blowhog corpses. Alright. Switch back over to you. Okay, the lock-on is being really weird today. I don't know what's going on with it. Might be something to do with the gyro controls or something like that, because it wasn't like this when I was playing with the control stick earlier. I really do wish that there was a way that you could play with the touchscreen, because they had an update in Pikmin 3 that eventually made it so you could play the game with the gamepad touchscreen, and that was my go-to method of playing that game back on Wii U, as you may or may not have seen during the main part of the Let's Play. But while I do like the motion controls in this game, I gotta say the gyro controls, just something about them just seems really off. They desync constantly, especially when you're locking onto stuff, so that's not exactly the greatest thing in the world. So I do wish that they were just a little bit better. And the thing is, for most of the other games that I've played on Switch that have gyro, they don't really have that problem. Like, yeah, you gotta recalibrate the pointer and come to a treasure tracker every now and then, but not nearly to the same degree you have to do in this game, and that's really shocking. But that's just a minor nitpick, and I feel like I'm gonna be saying that a lot throughout the series. Now, something that is really stupid. You can go over here, you can go down there, but there's no way for you to get back out. If you go over here, you are stuck unless you have another captain and you can throw them out. But you can't really do anything to save the other captain. They are stuck there forever. There's no way you can possibly get them out, and it is really stupid. Because in the main story, there is a box that's supposed to be right there that will make it so that you can climb back out of there. There's no box right there in this version, even though there was in the main story. I don't know why they changed that, but it is really stupid and drives me crazy. Now, to get started a little bit early with this, we can throw the red Pikmin over here if we had Louie on the other side, but it's not really that much of a time saver or anything like that. Oh, that was really convenient timing. Yay, convenient timing. I have everything planned. That thing is kind of cute. Unfortunately, they don't stay on screen for long because, you know, they're not really tough enemies or anything like that. Although they are pretty obnoxious to deal with. A every once in a while, so you definitely want to be careful with that. So the actual gameplay of this level, it's very similar to what we saw in the previous mission. It's going to be another one of those levels where you're going to need to, I remember this, you're going to want to focus on fighting enemies and things like that. Probably wasn't the best idea to have the blue Pikmin right there, because we do need them for dealing with a lot of the underwater enemies in this area. Red Pikmin are not going to be all that useful this time around, but what is going to be useful are the winged Pikmin. Now, we still need to find a big group of them because we don't have enough to raise the gate over there, so we gotta focus on finding a few more before we get to continue moving onwards and things like that. Alright, let's move onwards. We got some more underwater bad guys we can deal with over here. So, let's deal with that. After you destroy that guy, we can lock onto you, and... No, I did not say to lock onto the bridge, I said lock onto the bad guy. Oh boy. Ain't the lock-on system great in this game? Alright, so there we have those guys working. There are a few more bad guys under the water, which we will need to be taking care of a little bit later. But first, I want to go over this area and take care of the bad guys surrounding the pink onion that we'll be finding pretty soon. So that might be a good idea to take care of that. Now you want to be very careful with this area. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Die. Be destroyed. I don't care that I'm losing a lot of Pikmin. Be destroyed. Phew. At least it wasn't as much of a disaster as the previous episode. I still can't get over what happened in the previous episode. That was just... No. That was just... No, there's no words to describe that. Now... We could be raising some of our Pikmin population, and that might be a good idea, but honestly, that's going to be just a little bit of wasted time for us right now, so I'm not going to be focusing on that too much. Now, it might be a good idea for you, because it definitely will make it so that you can spread your workforce across more tasks in the area. That sounds like playing Among Us or something like that. Yeah, it's definitely... My priority is definitely more so focusing on dealing with bad guys rather than trying to raise my Pikmin population. We'll have the winged Pikmin take care of that guy. Oh my goodness, the lock-on controls! Oh my goodness! Going one video without having to complain about the lock-on controls would be such a nice feature. Not feature, would be a nice accomplishment or something like that. I do not want to deal with you right now. We definitely will have to a little bit later, but I don't want to do that right now because I'm a chicken. Move faster. Okie dokie. Okay, let's secure these guys first. And then after all of them are dead, we will be able to continue onwards. It won't take too long to defeat that one guy up there. It's just a matter of wanting to have a lot of Pikmin with us. This is one thing I really don't like about fighting snitch bugs, is that fighting them near water is always a pain in the butt, because they always just seem like they're in the most inconvenient places in the world. Alright, so now we're taking care of all that. There's another guy over here which we could defeat with the blue Pikmin. Eventually, there we go. Alright, so, okay, let's get rid of these guys. I don't think I've ever really demonstrated this attack during the main series of the Let's Play, but yeah, that enemy will be able to trap your Pikmin in bubbles and things like that. It's kind of a cool ability, to be completely honest. We don't really see that kind of trap anywhere else in the game, so it is kind of cool. I wish more enemies did that, because it is kind of an interesting mechanic, even if it does get a little bit obnoxious every once in a while because of being trapped in it all the time. But It doesn't really appear too often, so it's not really that big of a problem. We'll have the winged Pikmin focus on the eyeballs, and they'll be able to take care of it in no time. But we will have to switch back over to controlling them, and that's not very pleasant at all. But what is pleasant is the fact that we didn't really get to see this guy outside the caves in the main story. So that's something that's really cool. That's something that I really do appreciate about the side stories in general, is that we get to see a lot of these enemies in places that we didn't really get a chance to see them before, unless we were playing Mission Mode. But I already made my opinion on Mission Mode fairly clear over the course of this Let's Play. It's not bad, it's just I don't really play that much because I'm weird. Alright, you should be destroyed, and boom! Haha. Now, okay, you know, why not? We don't really need the winged Pikmin for anything else, so we'll have a squad of them carry the corpse of that bad guy. We definitely will need some to carry to open this door, though. And as you open that, where are those last 4 enemies? They are all over here. That's very convenient. So, we'll take care of that. We'll switch over to the blue Pikmin and have Olimar go off on his merry way to his path of glory. We want to be careful of these fish enemies. I like how these are the last ones that we're fighting after dealing with that one boss guy. And that's a pretty interesting turn of events. And the last guy is up here. Mission complete! Victory screech! Ooh! Yay, a new record! We found the Hakatate's ship. How do you pronounce that? Well, part of it. It looks like the ship has suffered severe damage and its pieces were scattered here and there. This all feels very familiar, but there's no time to wallow in nostalgia. We have to recover those parts and get them back to the base before the indigenous life on this planet does who knows what to them. So after doing all that, we're in this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this video of Pikmin 3 Side Stories. In the next episode, we take care of First Part Found. And next time, leave the gear to you. Oh yeah.